Very good morning and welcome to Breakfast News. In the next 1 hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. Nation pays homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 65th Mahaparinirvan Divas or death anniversary today. We'll take you to the Parliament House and Chaitya Bhumi in Maharashtra too. Also, Russian President Vladimir Putin will pay short visit to India, and India and Russia are set to ink a number of pacts to further boost cooperation in key areas, which will be our key focus today. Also, important legislative business to be taken up in both the houses of the Parliament today. We'll have a story on that too. Sports and international updates too. My name is Abhishek Mahajan and with me is my colleague Rukma. Very good morning, Rukma.
A very good morning to you, Abhishek. And as Abhishek said, it's a news-packed 1 hour in Breakfast News. But before that, we shall be recalling and paying our tribute to the father of the Indian Constitution on the occasion of his Mahaparinirvan Divas, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the great social reformer, statesman and economist and jurist as well, who framed the Constitution, and we recall today all that he did towards nation building on the occasion of his Mahaparinirvan Divas. But first, here's a look at the headlines.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin to participate in 21st Annual India-Russia Summit in New Delhi today. Talks to focus on strengthening strategic partnership. First 2+2 dialogue to take place between the two nations.
Various important bills scheduled to be tabled in Parliament today. Bills related to narcotics and psychotropic substances. National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research and others will be introduced in Lok Sabha, while bills related to surrogacy and assisted reproductive technology will be tabled in the upper house.
Sixteen new cases of Omicron variant recorded from Maharashtra and Rajasthan on Sunday. Government remains vigilant to check the spread of Omicron. Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia reviews RT-PCR testing facilities for passengers coming from at-risk countries at the IGI airport.
India in commanding position in Mumbai Test sets big target of 540 for the Kiwis. In reply, visitors were 140 for 5, needing 400 more runs to win at the end of day 3.
The nation observes the death anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as Mahaparinirvan Divas today. A tribute meeting to be organized in the Parliament premises. Various other programs planned across the country to mark the day. Right, so those were the headlines that we are tracking at this hour. We'll start with our national segment.
And as we were telling you, India and Russia are set to ink a number of pacts to further boost cooperation in key areas of defense, trade and investment, energy and technology at the summit talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Vladimir Putin today. It will be a short but hugely significant visit by the Russian president to New Delhi. The two sides will be holding their inaugural 2+2 defense and foreign ministerial talks. The two sides are also expected to focus on the situation in Afghanistan and threats emanating from terrorism.
When Russian President Vladimir Putin arrives in India on Monday for the 21st India-Russia Annual Summit, he along with Prime Minister Modi would be looking at ways to further the strategic partnership that exists between the two countries in a changing geopolitical scenario. Apart from the restricted one-on-one talks at the summit meet, there would also be one-on-one consultations between defense ministers and foreign ministers of the two countries. This would be followed by the first ever meeting of the India-Russia 2+2 dialogue led by the foreign and defense ministers of the two nations. The two sides are expected to hold intense engagements on issues ranging from ways to deepen bilateral cooperation in defense and military affairs, energy, agriculture, logistics, trade and connectivity, to regional security concerns. Both in the summit meeting as well as in the inaugural 2+2 defense and foreign ministerial talks, the two sides are expected to focus on the situation in Afghanistan and threats arising out of terrorism.
They will begin with Raksha Mantri and his Russian counterpart, His Excellency Sergei Shoigu, co-chairing what is known as the Intergovernmental Commission, while External Affairs Minister will have a bilateral meeting with his counterpart, Russian Foreign Minister, His Excellency Mr. Sergei Lavrov. In the afternoon, the 21st India-Russia Annual Summit will be held, and we look forward to welcoming President Putin to New Delhi for this summit.
Several agreements to deepen cooperation in defense, trade, space, technology, energy and culture are expected to be inked during the summit. The two sides are expected to review their military technical cooperation agreement for 2021-2031. A key pact that could be signed is the reciprocal exchange of logistics agreement, which will allow militaries of two nations to access logistics and support facilities at each other's bases.
It would be a very comprehensive paper, a very comprehensive document covering all dimensions of our ties, beginning with the united global issues, global affairs and United Nations, revived commitment to its central position in modern world. Then would come multiple regional issues, naturally Afghanistan included, as a source of our common concern, and then much space would be devoted to bilateral ties.
The last India-Russia Annual Summit was held in September 2019 during the visit of Prime Minister Modi to Vladivostok. The annual summit could not take place last year due to COVID-19 pandemic. So far, 20 annual summit meetings have taken place alternatively in India and Russia. Under the Russia-India Intergovernmental Commission mechanism, at least 15 groups focused on economic cooperation between India and Russia have met virtually over the past 2 years, and the two sides have increased the target for the two-way investments to $50 billion by 2025, as the earlier target of $30 billion had been achieved in 2018. India is also focusing on trade and investment opportunities in Russia's Far East, including in coal and diamonds, and meeting manpower needs. As part of these efforts, 11 governors from the Far East provinces of Russia have been invited to Vibrant Gujarat meeting of 2022. Amritpal Singh, DD India.
Right, we'll come back to that story, but let's go live to the Parliament House. Homage is being paid to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 65th Mahaparinirvan Divas.
Titiyampi buddham namami, dhammam namami, sangham namami. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. ओकासा बंदामी बनते द्वारते नकत सब अपराधम कम तू में बनते द्वितीयम्पि ओकासा बंदामी बनते द्वारते नकतम सबम अपराधम कम तू में बनते तृतीयम्पि ओकासा बंदामी बनते द्वारते नकतम सबम अपराधम कम तू में बनते ओकासा अहम बनते तिरस्रण से पंचशील धम्मम याचामि अनुग्रह कत्वा शीलम देत में बनते द्वितीयम्पि ओकासा अहम बनते तिरस्रण से पंचशील धम्मम याचामि अनुग्रह कत्वा शीलम देत में बनते तृतीयम्पि ओकासा अहम बनते तिरस्रण से पंचशील धम्मम याचामि अनुग्रह कत्वा शीलम देत में बनते
यामहं वदामि तं वदेत
आम बनते
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा
नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा
नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा
नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
तृतीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
तृतीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
तृतीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
तृतीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
तिसरणागमनं सम्पूर्णं
कापते
पानातिपाता बेरमनिसिक्खापदं समदयामि
पाणातिपाता वेर्मणि सिक्खापदं समादयामि
अदिन्नादान बेरमनिसिक्खापदं समदयामि
अदिनदाना वेर्मणि सिक्खापदं समादयामि
कामेषु मिच्छासारा बेरमनिसिक्खापदं समदयामि
कामेषु मिच्छाचारा वेर्मणि सिक्खापदं समादयामि
मुसावादा बेरमनिसिक्खापदं समदयामि
मुसावादा वेर्मणि सिक्खापदं समादयामि
सूरा मेरे मज्जपमादट्ठाना बेरमनिसिक्खापदं समदयामि
सुरा मेरे मज्जे पमाठाना वेर्मणि सिक्खापदं समादयामि
साधु 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 तिसरणेन साधिं पंचशीलां धम्मं साधुकां सुराकितं कात्वा यपमादन संपदे तब्बां नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा इति तेसो भगवान् सम्मा सम्बुद्ध शरणसम्पन्नो सुगतो लोकदीनो अनुत्तरो पुरीशधम्मसारथि सत्ता देव मनुष्यानं बुद्धो भगवति स्वाकादो भगवता धम्मो सन्दिष्टिको कालिको एपस्सिको उपनायिको पश्चात्तं वेदितभ्यो दीयायिति सोपटिपन्नो भगवतो शावक संघो उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो शावक संघो न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो शावक संघो सामेसि पटिपन्नो
भगवतो
शावक संघो यदितं सत्तारि पुरीशयुगानि अट्टा पुरीशभुज्यला ईसा भगवतो शावक संघो बाहुनीयो बाहुनीयो दक्षिणयो अंजालिकरणीयो वनुत्तरं भूयकेतं लोकसाति एतेन सच्चवज्येन सोतु ते होतु सर्वदा एतेन सच्चवज्येन सर्वदुःखविनाशतो एतेन सच्चवज्येन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम् करणीयामेत्ता कुशलेन यन्तं सन्तं पदं अभिसमेषा सको उजूषा सुवासुषा समितो वनाभिमानी सन्तोषकोषा सुवरोषा यापगीशोषसंयोगमूर्ति सन्तीन्द्रियोषा निपगोषा यापगम्भो कुलेशो निगीतो समाचरे किंसीयेन दीयो परि उपपदेयं सुखिनो वाखेनो वन्तो सब्बे सत्ता भवन्तु सुखितत्ता ये केशि पाणो भूतात्ति ससावातावराभाय नमसेसा दीगावायैव महन्ता वा मध्यमानस्सकानुगतोला दिक्तावायैव दिक्ताये स दूरे वसन्ति अभिदूरे भूता वा सम्बदेशी वा सब्बे सत्ता भवन्तु सुखितत्ता न परो परं निकोपेता नाति मय्यातकातशिलाङ्कंसि व्यारोसना परिगसया नायमय्य स दुःखमीशेय माता यदानियं पुत्रं आयुषा एकपुत्रं मुनरहे एवं सर्वभूतेषु मानसं भावये अपरिमाणम् मेत्तं सर्वलोकस्मिन् मानसं भावये अपरिमाणम् उद्धं वदोषक्रियं स रसपादं कवीरं रसपादं तिष्ठं चरं निषिन्नो वासयनो वा यावतस्य विगतमित्वम् एतं सति अदित्य ब्रह्ममेतं विहारमेदमाहो दिट्टि चानुपगम्म शिलापादर्शनेन सम्पन्नो कामेषु विनियोगेदं नैयातिकप्रसेय पुनरिति एतेन सच्चवज्येन सोतु ते होतु सर्वदा एतेन सच्चवज्येन सर्वदुःखविनाशतो एतेन सच्चवज्येन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम् सब्बेतियो विभाज्यन्तो सर्वरोगो विनाशतो माते भवति अन्तरायु सुखी दीर्घायुको भव भवतो सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन सदा शुद्धि भवन्तु ते भवतो सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वधर्मानुभावेन सदा शुद्धि भवन्तु ते भवतो सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वसङ्गानुभावेन सदा शुद्धि भवन्तु ते साधु साधु साधु
अभिवादन
अब मैं स्वागत करती हूँ सॉन्ग एंड ड्रामा डिवीजन के कलाकारों को, जिनके द्वारा डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर पर गीतों की पेशकश की जा रही है।
हरि
सुजलां सुफलां मलयजशीतलं शस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे 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 मातरं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं कोटि कोटि भुजैर्भित घर करवाले कोटि कोटि कंठ कल कल निनाद करले कोटि कोटि भुजैर्भित घर करवाले अब लगे नो मायत बोले बाहुबल धारिणी नमामि तारिणी त्रिभुवन वरिणी मातरं वन्दे 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 मातरं तुम्ही विद्या तुम्ही धर्म तुम्ही रीति तुम्ही मर्म ममहि प्राण शरीरे बहुते तुम्ही मा शक्ति तुम्ही मां भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गणी मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरं 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 त्वमहि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमल दल विहारिणी वाणी विद्यादायिनी नमामि त्वं नमामि कमलं अमलं अतुलं सुजलां सुफलां मातरं श्यामलां सरलां सुष्मितां भूषितां धरणीं धरणीं मातरं वन्दे वन्दे मातरं 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 वन्दे मातरं
हेलो
गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, कुछ भी न कहीं इसके समान, कुछ भी न कहीं इसके समान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान। संस्कृति की आधारशिला, हर चिंतन को आकार दिया। संस्कृति की आधारशिला, हर चिंतन को आकार दिया। यह भारत भूमि हिंदुस्तान, यह भारत भूमि हिंदुस्तान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान। जन जन की हर अभिलाषा, हर जाति धर्म हर भाषा का, जन जन की हर अभिलाषा, हर जाति धर्म हर भाषा का, हर उन्नति का इसमें विधान, हर उन्नति का इसमें विधान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान। यह लोक राज का मूर्त रूप, मानव मूल्यों की खिली धूप। यह लोक राज का मूर्त रूप, मानव मूल्यों की खिली धूप। सारे मतभेदों का निदान, सारे मतभेदों का निदान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, कुछ भी न कहीं इसके समान, कुछ भी न कहीं इसके समान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा कीर्तिमान, गणतंत्र हमारा दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब। दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब। डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर।
संविधान भारत का बनवाने वालों में तुम थे, नए देश को नई राह दिखलाने वाले तुम थे।
संविधान भारत का बनवाने वालों में तुम थे, नए देश को नई राह दिखलाने वाले तुम थे। भारत के निर्माण की हिस्सेदारी तुमने ली थी, भारत बने महान ये जिम्मेदारी तुमने ली थी। जिम्मेदारी तुमने ली थी, जिम्मेदारी तुमने ली थी। बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब। दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब। दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब। डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर।
बरसाने का पागल देसा, बरसाने का पागल देसा। जात पात और छुआछूत का भेद मिटाने वाले, पीड़ित मानवता का सर ऊंचा उठवाने वाले।
जात पात और छुआछूत का भेद मिटाने वाले, पीड़ित मानवता का सर ऊंचा उठवाने वाले। प्रकाश शिक्षा का सबने पहले ये मंत्र बताया, मानव को सच्चा मानव तुमने बनना सिखलाया। तुमने बनना सिखलाया, तुमने बनना सिखलाया। बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब। दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब। दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब। डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, गाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल मिलकर हम सब गाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल मिलकर हम सब गाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल मिलकर हम सब गाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल
संविधान की रचना में देश में बड़ा उपकार किया
उपकार किया
उपकार किया
राजा रंग दलित शोषित को एक जैसा अधिकार दिया
अधिकार दिया
अधिकार दिया
अधिकार दिया
ये तेरा उपकार है माँ बाबा ये तेरा उपकार है बाबा सब तेरे गुण गाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल
निर्धन घर में जन्म लिए पर वो सब करके दिखलाए
सोना जैसे आग में सब करे कानन कुंडल बन के छाए तेरे पथ पर चलकर हम तेरे पथ पर चलकर हम तेरा ही मान बढ़ाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल भीमराव अंबेडकर तुम धीरज धैर्य के थे ज्ञानी तुम थे ज्ञानी
तुम थे ज्ञानी आँख पलट कर देखो तो आँखों से झलके पानी
छलके पानी
झलके पानी
छलके पानी दुखों में रहकर तुमने दुखों में रहकर तुमने जग को कहाँ हंसाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल मिलकर हम सब गाएंगे बाबा तेरे गुण पल पल मिलकर हम सब गाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे ऋणी तुम्हारे भारतवासी कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे कैसे तुम्हें भुलाएंगे का बनवाने वालों में तुम थे, नए देश को नई राह दिखलाने वाले तुम थे, भारत के निर्माण की हिस्सेदारी तुमने ली थी, भारत बने महान ये जिम्मेदारी तुमने ली थी, जिम्मेदारी तुमने ली थी, जिम्मेदारी तुमने ली थी। बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब, दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर।
कर सारे का पागने सा,
कर सागा पानी पामागा,
कर सारे का पागने सा,
कर सागा पानी पागनी पामागा, धनी धमना, धनी धमना, धनी धमना। जात पात और छुआछूत का भेद मिटाने वाले, पीड़ित मानवता का सर ऊंचा उठवाने वाले, जात पात और छुआछूत का भेद मिटाने वाले, पीड़ित मानवता का सर ऊंचा उठवाने वाले, प्रकाश शिक्षा का सबने फैले ये मंत्र बताया, मानव को सच्चा मानव तुमने बनना सिखलाया, तुमने बनना सिखलाया, तुमने बनना सिखलाया। बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, बाबा साहेब, दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब, दीन दुखी दलितों के पालनहारे बाबा साहेब, विलक्षण बुद्धि प्रतिभा अद्भुत वाले बाबा साहेब, डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर, 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 डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर।
Right, so we were showing you the live visuals from Parliament House where President, Prime Minister, Vice President and Speaker Om Birla and other dignitaries paid full tributes to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar statue, and the program began with Buddhist monks performing Panchil Puja, and then special songs also dedicated to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar were also played, and the nation pays homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 65th Mahaparinirvan Divas, and lot of programs, a lot of cultural programs have also been planned all across the country.
Right, and as Abhishek said, today India recalls the immense contributions of Bharat Ratna and father of the Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, on his Mahaparinirvan Divas. It is his death anniversary. Well, as we were telling you, we are marking the death anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar today as Mahaparinirvana Divas. On this occasion, Governor of Maharashtra Bhagat Singh Koshyari paid floral tributes to Baba Saheb.
Well, let's now take a look at important legislative business to be taken up in both the houses of the parliament today. The Lok Sabha is scheduled to take up the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research Amendment Bill 2021 today. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia will move the bill for consideration and passage. Also, the High Court and Supreme Court judges. Salaries and Conditions of Service Amendment Bill 2021 will be taken into consideration and passing. The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Amendment Bill 2021 will also be introduced in the lower house today. In Rajya Sabha, Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia will move the Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2021 for consideration and passing. The bill has been already passed by the Lok Sabha. Dr. Mandavia will also move the Surrogacy Bill 2020 for consideration and passing in the upper house.
Moving on, India has achieved another landmark in the fight against COVID-19. On Sunday, over 50% of our eligible population now are fully vaccinated. In a tweet, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia said, "Congratulations, India. It is a moment of great pride as over 50% of the eligible population are now fully vaccinated. We will win the battle against COVID-19 together."
And total cases of Omicron in the country has risen to 21. 9 new cases of Omicron variant of COVID-19 were reported from Rajasthan, 7 cases from Maharashtra and 1 case from Delhi on Sunday. Rajasthan Health Department said that 9 members from a family in Jaipur tested positive for Omicron on Sunday. These people had returned from South Africa. All have already been admitted at Rajasthan University of Health Sciences, RUHS Hospital in Jaipur. In Maharashtra, 8 persons have been found to be infected with the Omicron variant so far. As many as 6 persons have tested positive for the variant of COVID-19 in Pimpri Chinchwad in the Pune district, while 1 case of Omicron was found in Pune. The first 2 cases of Omicron in India were reported from Karnataka last week, and the other 2 cases were detected from Gujarat and Maharashtra, while 1 person tested positive for the variant in Delhi on Sunday.
Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia on Sunday reviewed the RT-PCR testing facilities at Delhi's IGI airport as the tally of cases of the Omicron variant of coronavirus touched 21 in the country. The Health Minister in a tweet said, and I quote, "Reviewed RT-PCR testing facilities for passengers coming from at-risk countries at the IGI airport, New Delhi. 35 rapid RT-PCR testing machines are functional and at Terminal 3. With this, screening and testing time of passengers can be reduced to even 30 minutes. The list of countries from where travellers would need to follow additional measures on arrival in India, including post-arrival testing, include the UK, South Africa, Brazil, Botswana, China, Mauritius, New Zealand, Zimbabwe, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Israel.
And India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. In this edition of Saga of Freedom, today we'll talk about Bharat Ratna, Baba Saheb Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, who worked tirelessly throughout his life for creating an equitable and a strong India. Also, we'll tell you about freedom fighter Rukmini Lakshmipati, who played an important role in Salt Satyagraha in 1930 in Vedaranyam of Madras Presidency.
Today, on the 6th of December, we are remembering Bharat Ratna Baba Saheb Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar on Mahaparinirvan Divas. The chief architect of the Indian Constitution, Baba Saheb, worked tirelessly throughout his life for creating an equitable and a strong India.
Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, a fighter in the cause of annihilation of caste, was born in a so-called lower caste on 14th of April 1891 at Mau Cantonment. His life was one of struggle, as his radical proposals to deal with the caste system met with hostility from the so-called upper castes. However, not only did he fight against all institutional and social odds to pursue his education, but spectacularly earned doctorates from both Columbia University and the London School of Economics, gaining reputation as a scholar for his research in law, economics and political science. Upon India's independence on August 15, 1947, Baba Saheb served as the nation's first law minister, and on August 29, he was appointed chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. He helped bring in many proposals and laws for social reformation and transformation of India. His efforts for a radical restructuring of property relations have ensured that India as a nation moves together to create new possibilities for all its citizens. Speaking in Constituent Assembly on December 17, 1946, he shared his vision of united India.
Our difficulty is not about the ultimate future. Our difficulty is how to make the heterogeneous mess that we have today take a decision in common and march in a cooperative way on that road which is bound to lead us to unity.
Dr. Ambedkar perhaps was India's most radical thinker, and he transformed the social and political landscape in the struggle against British colonialism by making the downtrodden politically aware of their own situation. He had famously said to the so-called lower castes, "Educate, agitate and organize." He laid a great emphasis on education, especially to weaker sections, to whom it was traditionally denied. He saw education as a potent tool which could equally empower every citizen to build an egalitarian society, as also to help break the age-old restrictive shackles of discriminatory social practices. Baba Saheb was posthumously conferred Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, in 1990 for his immense contribution in formation of the idea of modern India. We are forever indebted to Baba Saheb, whose values we cherish by following our constitution.
We also remember freedom fighter Rukmani Lakshmipati, who was born on December 6, 1892 in Madras. She is well known for her participation in Salt Satyagraha of 1930 in Vedaranyam of Madras Presidency, for which she was jailed for a year, becoming the first female prisoner in the Salt Satyagraha movement.
Lakshmipati was heavily influenced by leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, C. Rajagopalachari and Sarojini Naidu.
In 1934, Lakshmipati was elected to the Madras Legislative Council. 3 years later, she became the first woman to become a member of the Legislative Assembly. In 1946, Lakshmipati served as Minister of Health in the Madras Presidency Cabinet, becoming the first woman minister in the state. She died on the 6th of August 1951. In 1997, the Government of India issued a postage stamp in her honor. We salute this great Satyagrahi.
Well, let's move on to our next segment where we bring you news from across the globe.
court in Myanmar is expected to deliver a verdict on ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi today for allegedly breaching COVID-19 restrictions during a general election campaign. A verdict was due on the 30th of November but was deferred due to unknown reasons. The verdict will be the first in Suu Kyi's trial. She is facing 11 criminal cases with maximum sentences that total more than a century in jail. Those include corruption and violating the Official Secrets Act. The country's military had seized power on the 1st of February, overthrowing and detaining elected civilian leader Suu Kyi. It said it took power because its complaints of fraud by Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party, which won last year's election in a landslide, were being ignored by the Election Commission. The NLD says it had won fairly.
Meanwhile, in Myanmar's capital Yangon, several people were injured after a military truck rammed into a crowd of protesters. Since February's coup, more than 1,200 people have been killed during protests and thousands more imprisoned. The anti-junta protest was one of at least 3 held in Yangon on Sunday. Since military forces have often opened fire on protesters in the past, demonstrations are often held in small organized groups to minimize casualties. The UN has said that the military's crackdown could amount to crimes against humanity, but its envoys have repeatedly been denied access to Myanmar to investigate. The junta has justified the pre-dawn coup in February by alleging there was voter fraud in last year's general elections, with the party of Myanmar's then leader Aung San Suu Kyi won by a landslide.
And let's now take a look at updates on COVID-19 from across the world. COVID cases have begun spiraling once again globally. The tally of cases has now crossed 26 crore 61 lakhs globally, while so far more than 23 crore 97 lakh people have recovered from the virus. Over 52 lakh 70,000 have lost their lives so far. The US continues to remain the worst affected country with the disease, registering more than 4 crore 99 lakh cases and over 8 lakh fatalities. COVID-19 cases have been mushrooming all across Europe, with the UK being the hardest hit in the continent. The UK has more than 1 crore 4 lakh cases of COVID-19, followed by France, where cases have risen above 79 lakhs 17,000. Germany also has registered a spike in the number of cases, with the total tally standing at above 61 lakhs 79,000. Italy trains behind it, where over 51 lakh COVID-19 cases have been registered.
In cricket, chasing 540 to win against India, New Zealand ended day 3 at 140 for 5 wickets down. Daryl Mitchell so far has been the top scorer for the visiting team with his 60-run knock and added 73 for the 4th wicket before he was dismissed by Akshar Patel. Henry Nicholls remained unbeaten on day 3 and with all-rounder Rachin Ravindra giving him company. For India, Ravichandran Ashwin was the pick of the bowlers as he took 3 wickets. Ashwin also added another feather to his cap as he became the only Indian to pick 50 test wickets in a calendar year 4 times. Earlier, India declared their second innings at 276 for the loss of 7 wickets. New Zealand's spinner Ajaz Patel was the best bowler yet again with his 4 wickets in the second innings. Also, of the Indian batting, Ajaz now also holds the record for best bowling figures against India in Test cricket as he took a total of 14 wickets in the match.
Well, your Monday morning thoughts set the tone for your whole week. Moving with this thought, we take you to North Korea Zoo, where children and Pyongyang residents had a gala time watching cubs sunbathing. Well, that's our final visual for the day. As always, we leave you as we end the breakfast news today as well. We hope you enjoyed our show.